Hey guys, welcome back. I want to wish every one of you a Merry Christmas Eve and a Merry Christmas Eve tomorrow, or Merry Christmas tomorrow. It's December 24th, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a follow-up to piggyback off my last video with my Gulfstream selections, combining the pace progression model, okay, the newest model, along with matrix system factors, and then coming out to a thorough capping rating based off of the two models together, and then 4 different forms of assessment based off different sections of the grid. And I want to start off with, first of all, today Tampa Bay Race 1, 12:24, and you can see the breakdown here a little bit. Each section is assessed on its own, okay? So if I were just using the matrix system factors, the target rating, the ability rating, target buyer, the target buyer is then formulated into a rating, and then the overall matrix rating average off of these, I would have my own assessment right there. So if I was just using this as my sole handicapping for that particular day, I would come out with a 5.724, and not necessarily always based on the top matrix ratings. I like to kind of eyeball this and see who my target horse is, who's showing up in every single factor, and just do my hierarchy from there. This happens to figure right along the lines of the matrix rating: the 5, then the 7, then the 2, and then the 4, and that's why we have the 5.724 there. Now, when we move over the pace progression, and we're looking at the different calls and the finish, this first assessment I'm eyeballing what the grid looks like once again in color. I'm looking to see if is there going to be any potential pace battle up front. We see 2 horses with a 94. So right there, that might tell me I'm not going to use the 1 or the 5 right away as my first choice in this assessment here. Then I look to see, who was close on the lead. We see the 2 horses close on the lead. He was also very close on the second call as well with the 1. And then he was average final fraction. He was also in there as well as third. And then he averages out. Let's not even look at the final rating right now. But eyeballing this, I give it the 2 over the 1. And then I go down here. I see the 8. And I see the 7 from there. And what I did was I just kind of wrote the 5 off after the second call. Okay? Especially with this late fraction rating here. That's where I come up with 2187 on here. Now the third assessment is solely based on the final rating of the pace progression model, and that was the 2 horse. Also was the top rating there, the 1, the 8, and the 7. So again, coincidentally they were both the same, okay, but it's not always the case. And finally over here, I have my average of my matrix rating and my progression rating, and I have a 2187 as well, okay? And the reason I'm showing you that is because I just want to go into give me a second here. I just wanted to bring up the result of that race. I did play that race earlier today, and it actually did come out 2785. I hit this superfecta for 1440. I got 125.94 off of there. And if you kind of look, the 278 and the 5 are all in this here, the 4 assessments, okay? And what I did was, the way I put my ticket together, I put it together in more of a consensus, okay? The 2 was definitely going to be in my first leg. I was going to use the 1 in my first leg. And I was also going to use the 5 because the 5 was the top over here in the matrix factors. So they were the 1, 2, 5 there. And then I threw the 7 and the 8 into the second leg because of it's showing up 3 times, twice in the pace progression and once in the overall. And then the rest were the 4. Finally was the 4, okay? There was no more to use. I tossed the 6, and I tossed the 3 because the 3 didn't show up at all anywhere in the model except for second in ability. And so it did come out 2785 that paid 125.94. for that super. But let's take a look at yesterday, the recap from Gulfstream that I went and put a video out for. And we're just going to do a quick, we're not going to make this long, but I just want to show you, based on the grids that I put out yesterday in the video, okay, we handicapped pretty much all the races with the exception of, I think, maybe one. And I went over all this. I'm not going to go over all this again. So what I did was I translated that into a B, and C selection. And if we want to take a look real quick at those results were pretty, okay, here they are right here. The race one, we kind of fell off the cliff on, okay? But beginning in race 2 are the 4-horse, who I did have this column C, did win the race. Starting in race 4, we ran a little streak here. The 1-horse was my top choice, sole selection, did win the race. And then from there, we started firing off some pretty good exotics. The 6-horse won the race. It came in 6-3. We would have had the exacta if we were playing just from top to bottom here. If you structured your ticket with the 2 or the 6 on top and these underneath. Same thing over here. We have the try. The try was straight out of the A column. 289. The race came out 289. Same thing, race number 7. Race number 7, the 8-horse won the race. We would have found that if we played the try, 821. Okay, again, starting from top to bottom, there's a good chance you would have played, you would have had that. Again, we have another try. 11-horse won the race. It came out 11, 10, 8. So that would have been a no-brainer right there. We definitely would have had that try. And the reason I say we definitely would have had that try, I mean, every race I don't play exacta, try, supers, wins. I don't like to spend 20% of my bankroll on one race. I'll pick and choose where I think the value is. If I think there's no value in an exacta, I'll go and I'll play a superfecta instead. If I think there may value in try, I may skip the super and go a little bit heavier on the try. And then, as usual, I always play win plays if the value is there. And then the 9th race, we also have 845. That would have been a try right from top to bottom here as well. Now, the 10th race, we took a little break from the exotics. The 9-horse did win the race. And then finally, we had a booming payout here. We would have had to do some creative structure in order to come out with this. The 7-horse did win the race, and I think he was like 12-1 over like 10-1. But it came out 7-13-3. Okay? So if you were playing a trifecta using, different tickets, with some tickets starting with your C's, other tickets starting with your A's in the first leg, and so forth, you may have found that try right there, 7-13-3. I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't have found it. Again, because I'm not spending $50, $60 a race on different combinations. In this case, it would have paid off to do that. But at the same time, even when I'm ahead, I'm usually withdrawing when I get some sort of a significant amount. I'm talking about $150, $200. If I have a couple $100 in my account to play with and I hit for 150, I'm going to draw that 150 out because it's going to leave me with the 200 still. I don't build my bets higher because my bankroll goes up, because all it takes is a bad streak and then you're kicking yourself, wishing that you didn't make that move. All right, so that was really the basis of this video. I will be doing some in the future, but I'm going to hang on to this model right now. And sometime, probably either later tonight when I get home from our Christmas Eve festivities, or tomorrow, I will throw the pace progression model tied in with the matrix grid together. And again, those of you that aren't sure what the matrix factors are, if you were somebody who just solely is an owner of the my pace progression tutorial, email me. I will match up your email address with the fact that you ordered and purchased the pace progression model, and I will send you complimentary the matrix system, which I have as a separate tutorial as well. Those of you that own thorough capping and do not have the pace progression model yet, you do have a code that you can get 50% off of the pace progression. You'll end up getting it for $24. just send me an email, thoroughcapping@gmail.com, letting me know that you are owner of Thorough Capping and would like to purchase the pace progression at 50% off, and I will give you the code, and we can roll from there. All right, guys, so have a great holiday, and I will talk to you soon.